and why it is important. Also, I will be talking about how to actually manage your food situation with limited finances, and also cooking methods that can also work with your food security level. So let's start um, into it. Let's get right into the video. Today's teaching is for you to also know that you can always reach out to me, our community manager, on our social media platform, on WhatsApp, and also you can send me a DM or an email, anyone that works for you. So let's get right into it. Food security is a situation when a person does not have an issue with getting enough food to eat at a particular period to achieve a healthy life. When we talk about healthy life, a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, that also requires eating food that can meet their nutrient needs on a daily basis. So food security is a situation, not necessarily like a given. It can change because we have transitory food security as well as chronic food security. So when we talk about chronic food security, that persistently someone does not have enough food to eat, sometimes over a given period of 30 days or even 12 months, where an individual struggles to get food to eat for himself or herself or the household in general. So how can your family know you're food insecure? One, it is when you struggle to even budget for food that you need to eat on a daily basis or on a monthly basis when you have limited income. The USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture, as well as the FAO Food Agriculture um, Organization, which is the UN agency, actually are the people in charge of giving definition or also giving the yardstick of the different categories of food security situation. For an individual to be food secure, that means that person does not have risks of purchasing food or does not even have issue of having enough food at home to prepare for himself or the household at a given period of time. Food security actually affects diverse people, both children and adults. For a household that have younger children, most time food insecurity tend to move more to the adults because the adults in the household wants to prioritize the children, especially because they're growing and their requirement for nutrients more than the adults because they need to grow, you know. I'm trying to break it down for you in a layman terms. In nutrition research, we actually look at how food security affects people's cognition. Also, we look at the different determinants that can affect an individual food security level. Social determinants such as their age, such as their race, ethnicity, also living condition. Do they even have a good housing condition that can help them also sustain healthy living, to also be able to cook? Do they have the basic cooking equipment? Is there food safety assurance, like quality control in the house? Some households have rodents, have cockroaches, that even when they have food at home, the food is not safe. What of food safety? What food safety means to food security is what water means to having a bathroom or a restroom. Like you can't go to a restroom or a bathroom not having water there to flush, or you having toilet paper. You know what that means? So if you say you have food at home and there's no food safety, that means the food is at risk of causing food poisoning, especially when the food has been contaminated by rodents or cockroaches, or the food has debris of death in them. It can affect not just the children in the household, but the adults, making them at risk of falling ill due to food related issues or illnesses. Also, I will talk about food security in terms of the risk factor. Most time, individuals at risk of food security are people who maybe suddenly lose their job, or they're in college. College students now are very at risk of food insecurity because they're trying to go by the day. Maybe they've spent money on their tuition, also getting book supplies, prioritizing their school supplies, computer devices over purchasing food to eat, or even they're not having enough knowledge to cook food, and so they believe they don't need to buy food stuff or to even buy food to eat during their period of schooling. Also, I'm going to talk about how food security affects individuals. Individuals with food insecurity issues can also be people who the sudden loss of job, like I mentioned, but also people who struggle with a large household size. People with household size of 6 to 7, maybe they're living with extended family, grandparents, aunties, uncle, children. Most times can be at risk of food security. Not necessarily there's no food at home, but the rationing of portion sizes, even when the food is cooked, might not go equally to everybody. And so one or two persons will actually be at risk of food insecurity, because sometimes the person in charge of food provisioning might not be in tune or be aware that one or two persons, especially children, can be at risk of not eating, because everyone just have to get by and survive in the household. So most times we tell people in charge of larger households, like the primary caregiver, to prioritize population at risk, vulnerable population, maybe a pregnant woman, the under 5 children in the household, to be prioritized when they are portioning food, or after cooking, look out for, are they satisfied? Is the food enough for these household members? Also, people at risk of food insecurity have higher chances of struggling with some mental health issues. Well-being matters, like we know, is about somebody having enough knowledge and also resources to achieve optimal health. So if you're not eating well, definitely your concentration level is low, you are not happy, you're like, oh, how is life being so unfair to me? So what I would advise is that if you think you're food insecure, get help. How can you get help? Reach out to local resources, community resources that can support you as an individual, especially if you're low income or you're out of job or you're homeless. There are institutions around your community. If you're in low income countries, let's say Africa, Asia, there are resources that the government are trying to ensure is available for people to get support, like food banks. I know it's a major thing in Lagos, Nigeria, where we have people also coming up with food assistance initiative in the US, UK. There are organizations that are ready to give you food, sometimes free and sometimes at a subsidized rate, discount level. Go to grocery stores, Dollar Tree for coupons to buy food at a discounted prices, groceries at discounted prices. And if you're struggling, please reach out for help. You should not sleep with an empty stomach when you have resources to support. Also, how to achieve food security, like I mentioned, that we'll be talking about it. Listen now, please follow me. How to achieve food security is one, budgeting. As an individual, either you're a student, you're a father, or a mother, or you're just an aunt that is a caregiver of some younger kids. One thing I would say is that when you have your paycheck, the first thing is prioritize your basic needs. What are your basic needs? Food, shelter, clothing. Shelter means your housing, your bills for light, electricity, but more of it is that clothing can be reusable, but food, the food you eat today cannot be sufficient for tomorrow, because you sleep and wake up every day. As sleep is important, food is also important, water is important. So you also should plan ahead about to have enough food throughout the week or throughout the month. When you get your paycheck, how am I budgeting for food? How best can I achieve and ensuring that my allowance or my paycheck or my salary or my wages can meet up to the daily requirement or the monthly requirement of grocery shopping, cooking. Do I have enough cooking utensils or the basic that you need, the pot, the spoon, the plate for your household members or even for you as well. How can you achieve that? Because all these are tied to food security. And for you to have enough food to eat, that means you have the groceries, or even if you're not cooking, you have the money to purchase the cooked food outside. So food security also goes beyond just eating. It comes to also how nutritious is your food. I mentioned that food security ensures that an individual have enough food to eat, not just for a given period of time, but to achieve a healthy life. A healthy life means your food is adequate to meet your dietary needs. It is safe. It cannot cause you illnesses. And also, you can as well ensure that this food is enough to achieve optimal health. That means to not put you at risk, to not put you at risk of foodborne illnesses, to not put you at risk of contamination. So how do you achieve that? Check if your food is wholesome when you purchase them. I mean the groceries, the raw food. Also check if your food is not expired. Some people go to like local resources, community resources, food bank, and the food is actually expired 2 or 3 days before that day. Because some grocery stores just donate to the food banks, and some of them believe that the food is still edible, yes, especially dry food, canned food, but check the expiry date. Do you have a health condition like celiac disease, lactose intolerance that will make you not to be able to process some food in your body? When I mean process, digest properly. Also, when we are talking about food meeting your needs, is also looking at, would they supply me the needed nutrient for my daily intake, especially if your calorie needs are really, really based on a specific physiological condition. Physiological condition, are you recovering from a sickness? Or are you recovering also from maybe pregnancy, postpartum, or you've lost a baby? There are different nuances to know the nutrient need you need. Or maybe you had an accident and you are just recovering from surgery and things like that. You need to know your calorie needs. And all these are also tied to food security. You know, people talk about financial security. I need to be financially secured. I need to save for emergency funds. I need to do this. So also for your health. Food is not just something you want to eat to fuel your body. It's an investment for optimal health. It's an investment for healthy lifestyle. Just like you have money in the bank, food is for your body. And if your body is not healthy, if you as an individual cannot be productive, how will you make the money? So food security is important. And that leads to the nutrition security I was talking about. Are you nutritionally secure in your body? Do you have the right nutrients or the adequate nutrient to survive on your um, basic or daily need of nutrients, especially if you're going through a season in life, maybe you're pregnant, you're lactating, or you are recovering from an illness? Is your nutritional bank adequate? Do you have enough nutrients saved up in your body? So food security, like I mentioned earlier, is a situation where you're sure, because it can change, where maybe you are the household, one of the household actually is going through a major health challenges and cannot work more hours or cannot go to their regular job like they used to. That means the household income will be affected and it can lead to a transitory food security situation. Also, food security can also be as a result of natural disaster. Maybe there's hurricane or there's flooding. Definitely you have to secure your life first. You have to get things in order in your housing issues, or you need to move out of the neighborhood. That can affect your food security situation, where you need to move out, get settled somewhere else. Then you need to now get used to provisioning, planning again for how to ensure you have enough food to eat or to survive for a healthy life. So food security can change. But most times we advise people that to achieve food security, you plan ahead. Just like you want to go for vacation, you plan for that. Plan for your food provisioning. Plan for how to achieve eating even if it is not 3 square meal, you meet up to your required daily calorie needs. You eat twice a day, ensure that your caloric requirement is met through what you eat. So that will also help to achieve food security. Also, I would say one thing about food security, that food security should be something you consider even before getting married. Like, how do we achieve food security as a family? People talk about, oh, save up for wedding, save up for this. As a single, or even someone that has children, how do you plan for you getting married or moving to a particular place? How do you plan that you have enough food for yourself, even through your trips, road trips? Do you plan for food ahead, not just, oh, we'll stop by the roadside, we are looking for a restaurant or a fast food along the road? Have you made plans on what to eat? Because now we are saying food is medicine, but if food is medicine to you to ensure that you have daily needs, or food as medicine, if that is the word now, is like, are you sure you've planned for the food you need to ensure your body meet up the optimal health requirement? That means you're traveling, you should also have enough um, maybe food, quick snacking food to eat on your trip, or you have plans of, okay, we'll stop at this place, we'll stop at this place because we're sure there's food on this roadside at this place. And not just street snacking like in the low income communities, but more of intentionality of what we're going to eat throughout our trip or throughout our vacation plans and things like that. You need to make plans for that. Also, as a family, especially a family of 4, I'm going to be sending out maybe like a guide for you to look at how can I portion food to ensure food security is sustained in my family. Watch out for that guide. It will be an ebook, a template you can download as well for my community members. But if you are not a community member, please join us. You can find the link in the description below, or also on our Instagram channel. We have the registration link to join our community. But more to it is that you can achieve food security with adequate planning and intentionality for your household. Also, please and please, food security is not something you should jettison about. It's been found as an evidence that food secure households have lower risks of being susceptible to diet-related diseases. Why? Because you are able to achieve adequate nutrient store for your body. If all things being equal, you don't have any genetic issue or history of chronic diseases. It helps to achieve preventive health status, to not get at risk of that, of chronic issues. So it's important that food security is something you're looking towards for your household. Also, more to it is that food security can help you have the mindset that, oh, I don't need to even crack my head if we have enough food for the next 1 month or 2 months, because you've planned, the intentionality is there. As soon as you get your paycheck, you're looking out for, okay, budgeting for the adequate food we need as a household. How do I achieve that? Consult with a nutrition expert. You can actually get a nutrition clarity session with me on how to achieve food provisioning for you, and also how to plan for a household of 4, a household of 5, or a household of 6, on how to budget for food. Because it's been shown that individuals who have less than $200 budgeted for food monthly might be at risk of food insecurity. Why? Because that shows they're not thinking about how what they have can meet up their daily needs or their food needs as a family. So please ensure that you are not at risk of food insecurity. Also, ethnicity, race, your physiological condition can make you at risk of food insecurity or nutrition security. Like I explained, that you are not having enough nutrients stored in your body to have proper body metabolism. Please watch out, check with your physician, your dietitian, if your nutrient stores are optimal, especially for pregnant women, your iron levels, your folic acid levels. Also, sometimes for pregnant mothers or even lactating mothers, we tend not to meet up to the required calorie or nutrient stores that our body require for that stage of life. Please watch out. Food and nutrition security is real. And if you tend to be food insecure, nutrition secure, it can be a ripple effect to your children. I mean, fetus in the womb, infants or newborns, because they're not going to get enough nutrient from you as a mother that is needed for their growth and development. Please and please ensure that you have adequate nutrient stores. And if you are confused on how to achieve nutrient stores for yourself and for your fetus or for your baby, please consult with your physician for a referral to a dietitian, or you can book a clarity session also with me to also discuss how that can be achieved. So till next class and next session for our nutrition education, please I'm begging, send me a DM if you're confused, if you need clarity on how to achieve this nutrient store, like I mentioned, nutrition security, food security is the main thing now, and I'm here to ensure that you're empowered with the right knowledge on nutrition, you're food literate, you're health literate in terms of what to do with your nutritional bank or your food bank. I mean, when I mean food bank, you're even your food pantry in your household, how to ensure your staples and the required nutrients needed from the food you eat can help you achieve optimal health. Thank you so much for watching, and you can send me an email at maryoyewole@gmail.com, or you can search for Wellbeing Matters on Instagram and send me a DM. Thank you so much. If you're not part of my community, please, I beg, not just because I'm begging, I encourage you to join us, because that will really help you to also gain some knowledge that we share weekly. We share new concept on nutrition based on evidence and recent research findings. Every Thursday, we call it Trivia Thursday, and every bi-weekly on Saturday, we actually have nutrition education. And next up, we're having a guest speaker that will be talking about mental health and our well-being. And you can watch out for our flyer on our Instagram and other social media platforms. Thank you. Till next time, I remain Dr. Mary Asowata. Bye.